talk about the distance on a coordinate plane. Now, coordinate plane usually is going to be a vertical and horizontal number line, the x and y axis, combined to kind of make an intersection, kind of like a T, like that, okay? But we're going to get to that. But to really start this, I wanted to break these two apart and make it a little easier. And then eventually we might get them back together. We'll see by the end, okay? Now, what will happen is they're basically trying to find the distance between 2 points on a certain axis, whether it be the x-axis or the y-axis. And what they'll do is they'll give you some ordered pairs. And I've got a couple ordered pairs here. And we're going to do this way. We're going to go across, not up and down, okay, with these ordered pairs. Now, what they're going to give you is they're going to give you two ordered pairs. And in both of those ordered pairs, one of the axes is going to be the same. Well, what do I mean by that? Remember, with ordered pair, the first number in the ordered pair is on the x-axis, which is this one. The second one is on the y-axis, which is the vertical, okay? And on these two ordered pairs, there's going to be one of them that's in common, and they're going to be both in the same place. So I look at these. So my x-axis in this one is -2. This one is +3, so they're different. In the y-axis, for the first ordered pair, there's a +3. In the next ordered pair, there's also a +3 for the y-axis. So I know that I'm going to ignore these. Because what do those being the same mean? That means that if I go to my y-axis and I go to +3, that means the other points are going to be along this line this way. Okay? All right, so I can ignore them because I'm not really worried about them, and I can go to this. Okay? So there's a couple rules of thumb of what you can do, and then I'm going to show you on the number line how to do it as well. So two different ways. If I look at these two numbers that I'm comparing, because I marked these out, so I'm looking at the x-axis, if I have these two rules of thumb that can help me a lot. If the signs are the same, I'm going to subtract them. If the signs are different, I'm going to add them. But make sure that when you do that, you're adding or subtracting the absolute value of them, because you will never, ever, ever, when you're going with distance, ever have a negative. And I'll discuss that in just a few minutes and tell you why. So I look at these two that I'm comparing, and I see that one of them is a -2, one of them is a positive. So I go up here and I look at my rules, and I think, oh, the signs are different. So I'm going to add the absolute value of both of them. So the absolute value of -2, of course, is 2, because with absolute value, there's never any negatives. And the absolute value of +3 is, of course, 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So the distance between those two ordered pairs on a coordinate plane would be 5 units. Okay? Now, let me show you how to do it on a number line. All right, so I'm going to find my -2 right there. And then my +3 right here. So I've got to find the distance between these 2 points. So all I have to do is just count how many jumps I need to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the same as that. That's how you do it. It's that simple. Okay? Here's another one. I'm going to compare and see, okay, on the x-axis, +5, x-axis, +5. So those are the same. So I can mark those out. So I know I'm not going to do anything with those. But I'm going to look at the y-axis, okay? This one is +1, this one's +6, okay? Since we both have on the x-axis, they're both +5, that means they would be on this line. So I need to go to this, okay, to compare. So I find my +1 right there, okay? And then I find my +6 right there. Okay, now let's look at our rules first. If the signs are the same, I'm subtracting. If the signs are different, I'm adding. So I look at these and I'm thinking, oh, I subtract those two. 6 minus 1 is going to give me 5. Now that's just a coincidence that they were both 5. I just pulled these random pairs and didn't think about it. So let's look at it on the y-axis. I've got my +1, that's my starting point. And my ending point is going to be +6, way up here. So I count how far I'm going to get from +1 to +6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the same as what we got down here. Pretty easy, huh? Okay. Now, there's another way that they may do this. they may give you, let's see, let's do that negative 2, 3 that we had up here before. And they say they want you to go 3 units away from here. Okay? They want you to go 3 units away from this point. Okay? And like I said before, one of these xy coordinates are going to be the same. So let's go down here. And let's keep the 3 the same on the y-axis. So let's keep the y-axis the same. So, seeing that those are the same, I don't have to deal with the y-axis. All I'm dealing with is the x-axis. Okay? So 3 units away from negative 2 on the positive 3 y-axis. Okay? So if I go look at y-axis, 3 means it's going to be across this line. Okay? So I'm dealing with the x-axis. So if I'm at negative 2, and I want to go 3 units away. Now I've got 2 choices. I can go this way, or I can go that way. So that means I have 2 possible answers. And both answers, the y-axis will be the same. Okay? So let's say we go that way. We go towards the positive, and we're starting out with negative. Okay? And we're going to go 3 units away, and we're going to go this way. That means I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So if I go this way, then I'm right here at positive 1. So there is one of my answers. But let's say I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go this way. I'm starting at negative 2, and I'm going 3 units away. But I want to go this way. 1, 2, 3. There are our answers. Look at that. Okay? All right. Now, let's look at this right here. Okay? 3 units away, that way, gave me positive 1. Okay? 3 units this way gave me negative 5. Okay? Make sense? All right. Now, I talked about why whenever we're talking about distance, we never have a negative. If we're talking about how many units away, how far something is away, here's the real world application about it. If we are at Merrimack Heights and we want to know, okay, about how far is the QT gas station from here? Now, I don't know the exact distance. I could pull it up, but I don't have time for that. But let's say it's a mile, okay? And we wanted to know, okay, it's about a mile. Now, we don't say it's negative 1 miles away. Nobody ever says that. They say it's about 1 mile away, which is the absolute value. Same thing with this. With the distance, you will always have a positive, never a negative, because it's the absolute value. Okay? Hopefully that works. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, or maybe in the comments below. All right? Hopefully that helps, and hopefully that helps with your homework tonight. Maybe you're watching this tonight. Maybe you're watching it later. Hopefully it helps. All right.